the funny thing about these cars is they said they had Corinthian leather. That was a made-up term. There was no such thing as Corinthian leather. But when the guy from Fantasy Island with an accent says Corinthian leather, you kind of got to believe that it's Corinthian leather.
This came from North Carolina. Drivetrain was stolen back in '72.
Okay.
So it's always been in a...
So it was a shell?
It was a shell. It was actually insurance. They did a insurance and they took the motor out, and this guy got a hold of it in North Carolina. Then I got it from a guy in New Jersey.
So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. All right, guys, some of the rare cars you get to see when we're at Carlisle, and here's one of them. This is a 58 DeSoto hearse ambulance combination, 20,000 factory miles. It is for sale, but let's take a check. Let's check this thing out. So back in the day, a hearse and an ambulance, they didn't really have EMTs and stuff, so your ambulance may become a hearse, or if the body started moving, it could become a hearse from an ambulance. You never know. So let's take a quick look at this. It's black. So the front area is just for driving. This has a coffin in it. Nice fins on it. Very, very cool. Red and white interior. Had the rails. Also had seats up there. If they were just using it as an ambulance, so the seats would pop up.
I bought 3 of them. Liberties? I bought 3 of them. I lost my ass on every one. Oh, I bet you did. And the one I actually...
Very cool.
Windows on this side, leverage on this side. Yeah, I fell into the door.
So we have the Chrysler. So we have a Chrysler Cordoba. This is the Chrysler Cordoba with a sunroof, white interior. Now, the funny thing about these cars is they said they had Corinthian leather. That was a made-up term. There was no such thing as Corinthian leather. But when the guy from Fantasy Island with an accent says Corinthian leather, you kind of got to believe that it's Corinthian leather. So, I'm Sean. Is this your car?
Yes.
Oh, I'm with Junkyards and Barn Finds. So we're a YouTube channel. So I knew we'd find one of these. You always have to find at least one, and it's white. That's our YouTube channel. And what's your first name?
Del.
Del. So tell me a little about the car, Del.
I got it out of Cleveland, Ohio. It's all original paint interior. It's a Survivor.
So it's a Survivor?
Yeah.
How long have you had it?
4 years.
4 years?
4 years, yeah.
So.
And I plan on keeping it. It says sold on here because I don't want to sell it.
Right.
So I came here to hang out with my friends, and I put a sold sign on so nobody would bother me.
There you go. And that Corinthian leather seat is probably more comfortable than most people have in their living rooms now.
Yeah, they're very comfortable. And I put the sheepskins on to protect them.
To protect them.
Because I want it's white, and I want to drive the car.
And it's a white on white on white with the white.
With a sunroof. You'll never see that again.
You never see the sunroofs. And then.
And the funny thing about the sunroof, if you look inside, it's a manual crank one. It's not electric.
So it's a manual crank, and it's got also the split on the front. It's got the. It doesn't have a bench, right?
No, it's buckets.
It's bucket seats.
They call that a buddy seat in the middle.
With the buddy seat, okay.
And it's the first year, so it's got a little bit different dash and a different steering wheel. They didn't come with tilt wheel in '75. They came out in '76.
And it has that like decorative.
Yeah, that's only
chrome stuff.
They changed that design actually the next year.
Well, it's like they did put money into this car when it came out, and it was like their showcase car.
Yeah, it was supposed to be their Pontiac Grand Prix, for instance.
Yeah.
I tell you, what they really spent the money on was insulation. Because when the windows are up in this car, when it's running, it's Mercedes vault-like quiet. It's amazing how quiet these cars are.
And what engine did this one come with?
This one's got a 360 in it. I've had a couple of these. I had one with a 400.
Okay.
It's a little more torquey, but the 360 is good. It actually gets decent gas mileage. About 17 miles to the gallon coming out here for a car this size. You know.
Yeah, and I bet now it gets more looks than it probably ever did. When people see it,
people think it's a Lincoln.
Yeah, like a Mark or something, like an early Mark or something.
I've had that mistake made many times. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's definitely a very cool car. And you don't see many of them around. They just kind of disappeared.
I've always looked for these. Like I said, this is my third one, and I I've never seen triple white, and I've never seen a triple white with a sunroof. When you do see white ones, they always have a blue top.
Right.
You know, or different color top, and you might get a white interior, but you never see.
And this was what was known as the Landau roof, I think, right? There's the Landau because it was half.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it had the lights here, the little light, the Landau
actually,
lighting.
The Landau,
Or these are coach lights, I think they called them, right?
Yeah, coach lights. Yeah, on Cadillac they call them Brougham lights.
Right.
You know. But that was standard equipment on the car, but the top wasn't. But most of the Cordobas that were built had a what they call a convenience package in it with the top and air conditioning and a light group.
Okay.
And a remote mirror. And that was like and about 90% of them got that package.
And this only had the driver's side mirror. Didn't come with this.
If you look around, very, very rare do you see cars with passenger mirrors back in the day. That's something that around the 80s that started where it was standard.
And what year is this one?
75.
75.
This is actually first year Cordoba.
It's a sweet car, and it's actually not like bright white. It's like a soft white.
Yeah, they call
almost.
it spinnaker white.
Yeah.
But it's like it's actually an off white because I have a white Mercury at home, and that looks like a refrigerator next to this.
Yeah, this has a very distinctive, almost like a
not-
gold.
yeah,
It's like
it's
a
not
goldy
yellow.
flavor. No,
No,
it's
yeah.
like a goldy flavor.
Yeah.
But it's really like a classic white. Like
Right. It's not a bright, you know.
yeah, it's not refrigerator. It was meant to be a
Yeah,
rich.
like I said, I got a Mercury. That's what it looks like
Yeah.
next to it. But it's really
Yeah,
white.
nice. This is a nice, rich, deep color. So wow, and this hood is longer than a Hyundai.
Yeah.
So, but very cool. The chrome's in great. Did you have anything re-chromed, or that just?
Everything you're looking at is 47 years old.
Wow. I mean,
The only thing I did is I put the Vogues on it.
right. Well,
Yeah.
but the everything on this car has just been. This was well kept. This was well loved.
And it was Z-barred when new, so it's black underneath everywhere.
Oh, wow.
It was Z-barred, and they do inside the doors and everything, and did a hell of a job on it. And that saved it because it was in Cleveland.
Wow.
I mean, he grew up in Cleveland.
Right. So that's a great. But can I see under the hood? Would that be okay? I don't want to put these hinges through anything because look at the size of this hood, guys. This is like
The hood is amazingly weighted on these. It's so easy to open.
so they counterweight it. Oh, look at that. Oh wow, look at the So this isn't even a hinge. It's more of a.
I forget what they call it.
He was saying a torsion bar on it.
Torsion bar.
Yeah.
That's a torsion bar across the hood on both sides. See it?
So that's a really cool. You don't.
Well, that's actually the suspension in the car too. It's got torsion bar suspension.
Really?
They use the same technology for the suspension. Yeah.
Well, somebody used their brains. They should have used this in the '80s cars because all the rear glass windows could have used these, and they instead of those.
Hydraulic things.
Yeah, those hydraulic waste of plastic. But look at this thing. This thing is giant, and it's unlike the Monte Carlos that had the long hoods like this. You look at a Monte Carlo, their engine's shoved way back. So this actually, I would say it makes it a lot easier to work on. I mean, you can change plugs, whatever in this easily.
Well, they were designed that way too. It was back in those days. Most people did the wrong work.
Yeah.
People went back to the dealer. It was like a routine maintenance.
It actually looks like it belongs, like I say, because when you open up the Monte Carlos of the same era, their engine's way back there, and there's like just this giant fan shroud that looks like they're like, well, what were you expecting to put there? Where here it looks like it's engineered correctly. So,
but you know, most people don't know that back in 69, 70, 71, General Motors was actually researching V12s and V16s. Because the 69 Grand Prix was designed to have a V12 in it.
Oh, okay.
And he never actually brought it to market because of emissions in the early 70s when they changed all the emission laws.
Nice about this, it didn't have the lean button. The big
No,
one
yeah.
did.
Yeah. Well, in 75, none of them had lean burns. 76 was only the 360, I think, because I had a 476, two of those, and neither one of them had lean burn. In 77, they all had lean burn.
well,
Yeah, I had a 77 400, that was a lean button.
Yeah, like they had 77, they all had it.
well, definitely a sweet car. Thank you for talking to us.
Thanks.
So appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Survivor.
Yeah, guys, there are so many cool cars here. Here's another Roadrunner. 440 Roadrunner, this one.
Oh, yeah.
70 Plymouth Roadrunner top hat, 440 with grabber. White interior, automatic on the column. Really sweet. Guys, this is the paddock where everything's supposed to be for sale. And you can look at cars like this one, 68 Plymouth Barracuda, and they have their build books with them that show all the different things that they've gone through to build these cars, how they were found. Like this one here has a full M code replica. Free Charger, 66 Charger, 383 for sale. It's got the split buckets in the front, split buckets in the back. Big window. These all lay down. You're looking at something like this, is $36,000. Nice car. Nice car. Power brakes. Completely rebuilt underneath. Dart. Swinger dart here. Here's the GTX. Resto Rod GTX. Nice red interior. $707 Hellcat crate motor put in this. Very nice car. Here's a Super B right here. I'm assuming this is yours?
Yes, sir.
I'm Sean with Junkyards and Barn Finds, their YouTube channel. Tell me a little bit about it.
This came from North Carolina. Drivetrain was stolen back in '72.
Okay.
So it's always been in a.
So it was a shell.
It was a shell. It was actually insurance. They did a insurance and they took the motor out, and this guy got a hold of it in North Carolina. Then I got it from a guy in New Jersey. He owned it for like 15 years or so.
Right.
And I got a hold of it and pretty much restored it. Reduced and redone.
Now the Hemi in there, is that a newer Hemi or is that
no, that's original '67 block.
Okay.
Obviously,
so it's period correct.
Yes. The transmission, the Dana, is 69. They quoted 9.
Okay.
The block, it's 67 block.
Right,
but that's the way. But it's original Hemi car, original J code. I do have the broadcast sheets and original fender die.
Okay.
So original Hemi car. One of 62 if it's automatic. One of 71 if it's a stick.
And now, did you do the work on it yourself?
No. I had it done, and then my buddy James helped me out. He put the car together.
Right.
Put the engine together. Put the engine underneath.
Is this the original color?
Yes.
The green.
F8,
wow.
yes,
Okay.
yes, F8.
With the interior matching, right? So it's basically, other than the block being a different year.
Yes.
It's how it should be.
Yes. Original Hemi car. Like I said, it's a lot of work. People don't understand that. We converted to disc brake for safety reason. But it's a really J code car.
Yeah, but a disc brake conversion, even at a car show, it's a safety thing, so they're fine with that.
But like I said, it's only 62 automatic, 71 stick.
Wow.
So James and I, we decided to make it a stick.
There you go. Why not?
But it was done during the restoration,
right.
so all the factory.
So it looks.
Oh yeah.
You
can even tell.
Right.
We even put the reverse light.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The reverse light in the car,
So, wow.
But it's, you got parts that's back order, so I'm still waiting for a couple of parts.
Yeah, well, everybody's doing that.
I'm missing
now.
the N96 air grabber. There's a handle, those both.
Right.
It's been back ordered for 6 months already.
Yeah, well, that's everybody at this point in the world.
My buddy Jamie, Mega Parts.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you watch this video and all the other videos from Carlisle 2022. I got the hiccups, sorry. April, should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.
Where it says merchandise store right here, merchandise store link, you will see it says https:/junkyards-barn-finds, and you click on that and it's going to take you here.